The following is a presentation of SC State Athletics. You are watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football. This week's matchup, your SC State University Bulldogs versus the Bethune Cookman University Wildcats. Our sponsors are the County of Orangeburg, Palmetto Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Regional Medical Center, State Farm Insurance, Russ Hewitt Agency, Simmons Funeral Homes, Vital Care EMS, and the City of Orangeburg. And now head coach Buddy Pough and our host Ernest Robinson.
Coach Buddy Pough's Bulldogs can control their own destiny with a win over the Wildcats. It won't be easy. The Wildcats boast one of the best quarterbacks in the MEAC. He can throw it and run it. He's the second leading rusher in the MEAC, and if the Bulldogs are going to have any success, they've got to control number 10.
Well, he's kind of a grown-up Tyrese Nick. You know, he's a bigger picture of that same kind of style of play. He can run like all get out, and he throws the ball around pretty good too. Sometimes he doesn't know where it's going, kind of like Tyrese too. But, you know, this guy's really played well for them this year. You know, they've done a nice job of wrapping some good players around them. So, you know, they got all kinds of Johnson kids. You know, they got some kids that really do a nice job of giving them some targets to deal with.
One of the things we talked about the last couple of weeks, special teams. Nobody does any better than them in the conference. Jimmy Robinson in the return game leads the conference in kick return. Talked about how to limit them and field position and its importance in this game.
Well, you got to be aggressive and you got to attack them. You can't let them just kind of, you know, have space to actually work in the special teams game. We're going to keep a lot of pressure on them. If we can do that and have an aggressive plan, I'm telling you, we've got all kinds of fakes in for these guys this week, so hopefully we can get some of that stuff off. You get a little bit of a heads up before the game, so we'll see what happens as the game goes on.
All right, Coach, I know we're down one player receiver, but you're going to have Traquan Dubois step up. It's always disappointing when some guy's having a great year goes down injured, but we're really going to miss Wolverine.
We are. Will tore his muscle in his leg Tuesday in practice, and it was a sad day for that particular occurrence. And you know, we've got to just next man up, but at the same time, you feel for him. He's a great young man who's done a nice job in the classroom and on the field, has been having a good year. When you threw it to him, he could go the distance, and that's a part of our offense that we're going to miss. So, you know, we got the next guy up. We're going to actually start Rod Thomas in that spot. Hopefully Rod has grown up enough where he can carry the mail that way. We got our work cut out for us, but we think we're in good shape.
Talking about carrying the mail last week, of course, you had a good run game. LeBron Morris had a good game running the football. Talk about the run game and how you'll use that to try to keep the Wildcats off the field.
Well, we get LeBron another opportunity to go out and rush the football, kind of similar to the way we did last week. Our plan is somewhat similar to the way it was last week. We also get Tyrese back, and we'll play him some. We'll play both guys, both Tyrese and Corey Fields a good bit. I'm looking to see if one of them really takes off and runs with it. If that happens, then that will be really, really good. But at the same time, we plan on using both guys and trying to do some of the things to lean to those guys' strengths.
Quickly, Coach, what's the keys to getting a win?
Stopping the run for Bethune, making them make Arkevius beat you with the pass, and being able to actually create and move the football really effectively and score some points on offense.
Thanks, Coach. Let's go to Saturday's first half highlights. South Carolina State and Bethune-Cookman. At quarterback for South Carolina State, there's the snap. That is Corey Fields. Play action fake. Fields going long. Fields throwing it out there. It is up, and it is knocked away. The intended receiver was DeMontrez Burrows. Michael Terry with the snap, back to pass. Fields looks, throws a slant. It is caught by Shaquan Davis. First down, Bulldogs breaks a tackle, tackled down at the 46-yard line of South Carolina State. So it's fourth down now, a long two. One receiver each way, two tight ends to the right. LeBron's in the backfield. There's your snap. Option to the left. Cutting inside for the first down is Tyrese Nick. Nick was going to keep it himself, and now they're saying he didn't get it. I thought sure he got the first down. And they got two really good running backs, and one's a quarterback. They give it to Washington. Washington cuts in. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Williams. Fool me. And the Bulldogs have got him wrapped up. Shotgun formation for the Wildcats. 4-down lineman for the Bulldogs. Hand off inside. This is Washington, breaks through at the 50. In the Bulldog territory. Washington still on his feet. Tackled down by Dwayne Nichols at the 31-yard line. I'm sorry, it's B.J. Davis. This one will be from 36 yards. McDonald, it is blocked by South Carolina State. Mike Terry, shotgun snap, inside handoff LeBron. Over the left side, LeBron hops through, breaks free at the 45 at the 50. LeBron into Bethune-Cookman territory for the Wildcats. Therese Spann, who averages 17 yards per punt return, is back at the 15-yard line. Benjamin needs a good one. Pringle with a good snap. Benjamin faking it, and he's going to run it. He's got a long way to run. Oh, my goodness. Somebody didn't make a block, but Benjamin makes a miss. Benjamin gets the first down. Oh, my goodness. Nick keeps it himself. Nick gets forward, and Nick, I think, is in the end zone. Touchdown. South Carolina State. Josh Pringle to snap. Snap's good. Holds good. Toe is in it. It is up, and it is good. So at the end of the first quarter of play here in Daytona Beach, Florida, our score, South Carolina State 7, Bethune-Cookman nothing. 3 Cats are to the right, 1 to the left. Football on the far hash as they attack left to right. 4-down lineman. Here we come. Play action fake Williams over the middle. It's caught. What a beautiful catch. In the backfield is Wilson with Akevius Williams. They give it to Wilson. He breaks through a tackle, and, man, he just drags people into the end zone. Stephon Francois will hold, and it's blocked and recovered by South Carolina State. So it's 7 for South Carolina State, 6 for Bethune-Cookman.
With senior day, I'm sure that people come out and try and send these guys off in good fashion.
Xavier McDonald kicks off end over end, and is going to be taken by Moody in the end zone. Moody's going to come out. Moody got on the line, and
the ball's down at the 1-yard line.
I think the ball's at the 1-yard line. Shotgun formation for South Carolina State. High snap. And breaking free for South Carolina State. That is LeBron Morris. Oh, my goodness, LeBron up to the 35-yard line. The snap.
And a flag.
And a 15-yard penalty.
Whoa, the guards are smiling on South Carolina State.
Lord have mercy. Shotgun formation for Kevius Williams. Williams, play action fake, blitz coming. He throws it out, and the flat is caught by Bird. Bird got some running room at the 35, at the 30. Bird at the 25, Bird at the 20. Bird, and I thought that was a penalty. No flag down. It is a touchdown. Quayshawn Bird. It's 13 for Bethune-Cookman, 7 for South Carolina State. Bulldogs have it at the 46 of Bethune. 1st and 10, 2 receivers each way. That was a surprise play with Corey Fields keeping it. Back to pass is Fields. Fields looking long, Fields throwing out there. It is caught. Burrows into the end zone for the score. Hill to hold. Low snap, they bobbled it, and Hill has to fall on it. We're tied up. 13 for South Carolina State, 13 for Bethune-Cookman. Akevius Williams might try to draw us offsides. They snap it, give it to Washington. Washington's not going to get there. We stop them on 4th down. Bulldogs come from the sidelines to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation. This is Therese Nick. Nick keeps himself, fakes a guy out of his shoes, gets outside at the 50, at the 45, at the 40, at the 35, at the 30, goes out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Here's your snap. Tyrese, quarterback draw right up the middle, gets the first down. Shotgun formation now for Omar Cummins. Penalty flag down. They throw the football up. It is caught. Touchdown, Bulldogs. It's South Carolina State 20, Bethune-Cookman 13. Akevius Williams is the quarterback. 4-down lineman for the Bulldogs. They roll the snap out. Williams back to pass. Williams steps up in the pocket. Williams gets away somehow. Rolling to his right. Williams throws it. It is intercepted. Severe Kelly has it at the 50, at the 45, at the 40, 35, 30. He could go all the way. Severe Kelly. Touchdown, South Carolina State. And the score at the half, South Carolina State 27, Bethune-Cookman 13. We'll have more of the Buddy Pough Show right after this timeout.
Every day, you'll find the most innovative orthopedic care in the Midlands at Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center. Each of our highly skilled, compassionate physicians specializes in a unique orthopedic condition, caring for people of all ages and stages of life. We'll guide every step of your treatment, from diagnosis to recovery, so that you can get back to feeling like yourself as quickly as possible. You win when you choose Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance. You're also giving one.
I was off my game. Every day, my hip got worse and worse.
The coach's arthritis progressed to the point where his joint was bone on bone. Between the pain and the loss of range of motion, he decided to have the hip replaced here at the Regional Medical Center.
I was walking the very next day. I was going so fast, they said, "Slow down, coach, slow down." It feels great to be coaching again.
The Regional Medical Center. We're changing how you think about healthcare.
You stumble over a blade of grass. Come on.
Coach, we talked before this football game about you having to shake some things up offensively, kind of give Bethune something they haven't seen before. Boy, did you do that.
We did. We tried to do everything you possibly could. We played both quarterbacks. We played one quarterback for a while. We played the other quarterback for a while. And we played at times, both of them at the same time. So, it was an opportunity for us to shake things up a little bit that way. And then we had some stuff for them in the kicking game. We had a fake punt. We had a fake field goal. In both cases, we probably could have executed a little bit better. But I think the desired effect was to just shake them up a little bit. And if that's what we were looking for, then we found it.
You talk about pulling out all the stops, but on the first possession of the game, we drive down to their 16-yard line. We need to get to the 15 for a first down. We didn't get it done, but you learned a lot about Bethune's defense and what you were able to do, and you were pretty much able to do that consistently throughout the ball game.
We were able to move the football in various ways, and both quarterbacks had their moments. We had one guy, who threw the football a little bit better, and then Tyrese is an excellent handler of our team and a runner. He might sometimes need to pitch the ball a little bit more. If I could get him to really invite people to him, because everybody wants to come to him. He can run like a real fast. Let's say it that way. Then he'd really be more effective. So hopefully that'll be something that we'll get him to do here pretty soon.
Now we talked about the offense in the first half, but your defense really stepped up, controlled Akevius Williams. You really can't stop him. You just do your best to try to control him. We were able to limit him in the first half because our offense stayed on the field so much.
It was a stage where I thought it was better just to let them go ahead and get to about our 1-yard line, and then at that point, then they didn't have enough room to do all that stuff they were doing, and we could stop them. But we couldn't seem to get them stopped on third down any kind of way, and we kept trying to do things to him. But we eventually found something. Our defense eventually got stops from here and there and other ways, and picked the ball off and actually returned it for a touchdown right at the end of the half. So that might have been as big a play as we had.
We talk about the offense, going back and talk about the offense. Your offensive line, I thought, did a good job of moving the football, especially on the ground. And for the second week in a row, LeBron Morris had 76 yards rushing in the first half, ended up with over 100 for the second week in a row.
And we rushed the football for over 200 yards. And anytime you do, that and still have, a decent passing attack, then I think that gives us the indication that our offensive line is playing pretty well. So if we can continue to get them to develop that way, then I think we may have something down the road apiece.
All right, it's time for the Palmetto Health Injury Report on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show. And coaches start talking about the injuries. DeMontrez Burrows got banged up. Was able to come back in the football game, but injury is so important, and we talk about Burrows, the receiving core. We had a huge injury last week.
We did. Will Vereen got hurt in practice Tuesday, and I'm going to be honest with you, it was a sad day for me. I couldn't hardly, get up from behind my desk. I was so hurt, and he is going to have surgery sometime next week. And then during the week last week, we found out that Shaquille Crouch who was also a guy that we thought we were going to get back, is also going to have surgery sometime in the coming weeks. So, we got some pretty good sized injuries, and those guys most likely won't be back. And then, of course, Burrows had the injury, but Burrows is mostly a cramped guy. He gets, pretty beat up in the heat, and Florida weather gives those kind of guys some issues. And, we did finally get him back to playing, and he got through it.
That is your Palmetto Death Injury Report for the Bethune-Cookman football game. We'll take a timeout here on the Buddy Pough Show. We'll come back with the all-heart player on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show.
Every day, you'll find the most innovative orthopedic care in the Midlands at Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center. Each of our highly skilled, compassionate physicians specializes in a unique orthopedic condition, caring for people of all ages and stages of life. We'll guide every step of your treatment, from diagnosis to recovery, so that you can get back to feeling like yourself as quickly as possible. You win when you choose Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center.
Welcome back to the Buddy Pough Show. It's time for the all-heart play on this week's edition of the Buddy Pough Show. And Coach, last week we had a difficult time picking an all-heart player. This week we decided to take a different twist because we have so many candidates.
We did. We decided to go with two. I couldn't decide if John L. Brown with 10 tackles and all kinds of plays, or LeBron Morris with 100 and some odd yards rushing. And a big part of this game, some real big plays should be the guy. So we just decided to just go ahead and name both of them. And hopefully, we can figure out a way to make that all fit in this program.
All right, the all-heart player for this week's edition of the Buddy Pough Show, John L. Brown on defense and LeBron Morris on offense. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll have more of the Buddy Pough Show right after this timeout.
My first thought was, what is going to happen to me? Am I going to live? My second thought was, I needed to live because I thought about my children.
Betty's mammogram showed a lump in her breast. We surgically removed the cancer.
And Betty was referred to Mabry Cancer Center, where she received chemotherapy and radiation therapy.
It was an opportunity to live again.
The Regional Medical Center. We're changing how you think about healthcare.
Today, I'm cancer-free.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance. You're also giving one.
Every day, you'll find the most innovative orthopedic care in the Midlands at Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center. Each of our highly skilled, compassionate physicians specializes in a unique orthopedic condition, caring for people of all ages and stages of life. We'll guide every step of your treatment, from diagnosis to recovery, so that you can get back to feeling like yourself as quickly as possible. You win when you choose Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center.
Edison has it teed off, kicking off from right to left. It's a squib kick, and it's recovered by Bethune-Cookman at the 48-yard line of South Carolina State. Wide side to the quarterback's left. Washington tailback with Akevius Williams. Akevius Williams gives to Washington. He tries to get outside. Bulldogs got him balled up. Janelle Brown doesn't have him by the face mask, spins him down. He loses 3 yards. Washington in the backfield. They give it to him again. He stood up. He loses yards again. Williams and at quarterback. Washington in the backfield with him on 3rd and 15. Williams back to pass. Williams steps in the pocket. This is what he does. Williams cut through, and Williams on the move at the 15. That's exactly what he does. Goes out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Washington, the tailback, on 4th and goal. They give it to Washington. Washington stood up. He's not going to get there. We stop him. Shotgun formation for Corey Fields. 4 men on the line of scrimmage. Fields back to pass. 4-man rush. Here comes pressure. Fields in trouble. Fields rolls to the right. Fields throws it out in the flat. It is caught high. DeMontrez Burrows. What a catch at the 41-yard line of South Carolina State. LeBron Morris in the backfield on 1st down at the Bethune 46. Option to the right. Tyrese keeps himself, breaks free at the 40. Tyrese still on his feet and gets knocked down at the 31-yard line. We snap it back to passes Tyrese. Tyrese pump fake, nothing there. Tyrese flips it over. It's caught by LeBron at the 30, at the 25. LeBron gets down and fights for the 1st down. Quincy Hill will hold. Pringle snap. They fake it. And Quincy Hill is tackled down, got back to the original line of scrimmage. 4-down lineman for the Bulldogs. Back to pass Williams. Here comes pressure. He throws it out in the flat. He's got a man out there caught. And that is Francois. Made a man miss at the 40. Francois hit up at the 50-yard line. It's 3rd down and 11. Bulldogs putting the pressure on Williams. Steps up in the pocket. This is where he can hurt you. Williams has a man out there wide open, caught at the 20-yard line for the Wildcats. Touchdown. McDonald on for the point after. Bulldogs try to block it. Can't do. Oh, it hit the upright. It hit the upright. It's no good. And so with 1 quarter to go, South Carolina State clinging to a 27-19 lead.
In the backfield, it's with Williams and Jimmy Robertson. Plenty time. He's going long. He got a man out there. And it's intercepted by the Bulldogs. That looks like Dwayne Nichols, number 10. You can hear the roar from the Wildcats defense. He gives it off to Cummins. He has a move. He's got outside. He has the 1st down.
But Bredesen straightened him out. Snaps good, holds good, pin is in his toes in. It's blocked by Bethune-Cookman. And Quincy Hill got it and runs out of bounds at the 37-yard line. 4-down lineman for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs showing blitz. Here we come. They don't get him. Williams back to pass. Williams in trouble. Now we do have him. It's a sack. 1st and 10 at the Wildcat 49-yard line. Back to pass. Williams in trouble. Williams is going to be brought down, sacked back at the 42-yard line. 2nd down and 18. Williams back to pass. Williams in trouble. Williams is going to be sacked back at about the 27-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Here comes the blitz again up the middle. Williams is going to be sacked and brought down at the 20-yard line. South Carolina State has come into Daytona Beach, Florida, and beaten the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats on homecoming and senior day. Coach, what was the mood at halftime now going in after a big defensive play to close out the first half? Severe Kelly returning an interception, 55 yards for a touchdown, and instead of having a 1-score lead, we're up by 14 on the road in the locker room.
It was very good. We were a little bit surprised by it all, but at the same time, we were real happy with the fact that we had gotten up by 2 scores. Now, I had no idea that we weren't going to score anymore, and there would only be 6 points scored for the rest of the game. But at the same time, our defense just continuously made plays that kept us in the football game that way. And believe it or not, our offense didn't play that poorly. We had one drive that lasted almost 10 minutes that ate up almost the entire third quarter. Now, we didn't get it in. We didn't get points out of it. We didn't get points in the red zone some on offense. But I can tell you, I thought that our offense still had its moments, even though we didn't score as much as I would have liked in the second half.
You start talking about Bethune-Cookman. You talked about before the football game forcing Akevis Williams to throw the football. And in the first half, it seems as though the only time he really could successfully complete a pass, Coach, is when he had plenty of time or he bought time, found open receivers after good coverage in the secondary, eventually broke down. And you changed that in the second half.
Late in the second half, we got after him pretty good with one of the blitzes that we had run the rest of the game. But anytime he had time, then we weren't quite athletic enough to catch him. And he just kind of bide time until he could find an open guy. And there was definitely going to be a guy to come open at some point because he had so much time. So eventually we figured out that we could, get to him, especially when they went with the empty set. So we got a chance to get after him at the very end, and that was the difference in the ball game.
Now, in the first half, I did not mention because this kid made a play in the second half that was similar to the first half, but there are some bad snaps that somehow LeBron Morris came up with one in the first half, took it for about 30-some yards on the run, and then in the second half, the same thing happened in the end zone. And LeBron Morris makes a play, and those two plays, Coach, really kind of saved the game.
Yeah, it did. Our center got off the tracks a little bit in some critical situations, and LeBron saved us in both of those situations. And not only did he catch the football, which he saved us from getting possibly a safety, he also took the football and ran it for a good many yards and got us out of the – we had a real bad play on kickoff where we actually kneeled down, I think, on the 1-yard line, and that was a big play when LeBron got the football somehow or another and ran it out to about midfield. So that turned the football field over for us real quickly that way.
All right, the Bulldogs get the win over Bethune-Cookman, but it does not get any easier as each week in the MEAC. Last week was important. We got a record-setting win. This week we get a win over an undefeated MEAC opponent in Bethune-Cookman, undefeated in the conference. Next week, a once-beaten North Carolina A&T team comes to Orangeburg, and I don't have to say any more about the Aggies.
You really don't. North Carolina A&T is the cream of the crop in our league right now. They've won the league now for 2 years, and we need to really work our fannies off this week to make sure that we're prepared for them coming in. They are the best in our league, so we just I think that says it all.
All right, folks, we hope to see you next week. Of course, South Carolina State will take on the North Carolina A&T Aggies in Orangeburg. We want to see you in Orangeburg. We want a huge crowd to come out. And, Coach, this is almost like a homecoming do-over.
We'd like to think that we could maybe do some of the things that we didn't do on our homecoming date because the weather was so bad. And, this is a great opportunity. I think this is a present of sorts to our university from our team to have this kind of situation play its way out in a way that we should have a big crowd this coming Saturday. So I'm looking forward to everybody being out and seeing us play this coming Saturday. North Carolina A&T, a top team in our league, and now South Carolina State, one of the top teams also. I think we might also be tied for the conference race right now. So we got to get everybody there. We need your help to come in and help us get after these Aggies this coming Saturday.
It's going to be a championship atmosphere this weekend in Orangeburg when the Bulldogs take on North Carolina A&T, and we hope to see you in Orangeburg on Saturday when the Bulldogs and Aggies get together, and next week right here on Fox Sports Southeast on the Buddy Pough Show.
Thank you for watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football. Our sponsors are the County of Orangeburg, Palmetto Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Regional Medical Center, State Farm Insurance, Russ Hewitt Agency, Simmons Funeral Homes, Vital Care EMS, and the City of Orangeburg. Join us again next week for highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football.